what's up everyone? It is Rachel. Welcome back to my channel. So today is very exciting because I am starting a little news series on my channel where I'm going to be talking with a bunch of friends who are all working post-grad right now. So they're all in different fields, different majors, different jobs, and we're basically going to have a career fair and see what their job is really like. So definitely let me know if you want to see more of these videos. I have a few career fair videos lined up right now, so if you do like this series, definitely leave a comment down below and give this video a big thumbs up to help me out with the YouTube algorithm. And also do not forget to subscribe if you want to see more from me. And so today's guest is my high school friend Rachel. She is going to be talking all about what is software engineering and what it really entails. And so if you are a student applying to colleges this year, you should definitely check out Study Hall College Consulting. It's a team of myself and a few other UC Berkeley students where we specialize in reading college application essays and consulting one-on-one with students or parents who might have questions or want advice about the whole college application process. So definitely check out our website if you want to learn more. On our website also, we have a free blog where we post weekly tips and tricks, so definitely check that out as well. So without further ado, let's get started with this career fair. Awesome. So it looks like hopefully we are recording via Zoom now. And so today we have a very special guest with Rachel, if you want to introduce yourself.
Yes, of course. Hi, my name is Rachel. I'm a December 2019 graduate of the University of Maryland, College Park. I was a major in computer science with a minor in women's studies. And now in March of 2020, I began working full-time as a software developer at Amazon.
Cool. So with your computer science background and now working as a software developer, can you explain what your job is? Give a basic definition?
Yeah, sure. So software development is really just using code in order to solve problems. And it's kind of a vague definition because I feel like you can really apply computer science or software development all over the place. Like computer science just encompasses so many fields and subsections, whether you want to work and create artificial intelligence, whether you want to create the smart devices that are now in everyone's homes and in everyone's watches. You can really solve all types of problems and get to do so many cool things just with some technology and code and getting to solve problems in a creative way.
Can you explain what you do on a daily basis? What does your day-to-day work day look like?
So I feel like for me, at least, every day will be a little bit different. So I'd say usually the bulk of my time is spent sitting at the computer, coding things out, so creating the code as well as writing tests to make sure everything's working the way I expect it. And then also at my job, we have to go through code reviews where someone else will read it over, give you feedback, and you'll have to make those corrections. But, it's not just sitting alone in a room, typing away all day. There's also a lot of other aspects. One big thing is we have a lot of meetings to kind of be able to work effectively with other teams, as well as plan where our future of our projects and any problems we have are going. So recently, since it's Q4, end of the year, we've been doing a lot of brainstorming and planning kind of what we want to prioritize and accomplish throughout 2021, which has been really cool to be involved with. So we'll also have meetings, if say I need help from another team to complete a component of my project and we need to make sure me and the other developers and managers are synced, we'll have a big conversation about that. And then, you'll also have to just pick up some extra tasks throughout the day, whether it's operations, making sure all your code that's in production on the website or wherever is working smoothly, nothing's going down, nothing is failing in ways you wouldn't expect. So picking up little tasks to, check on that health and improve it. And just sometimes my manager will be oh, I need something really help with quickly with this, or one of my team members will need me to explain part of our technology to them. So it's a lot of more collaboration and working with others and aligning on common goals than I feel I initially expected, especially from high school into college, like my first exposure to computer science, I think like the expectations versus reality is like a very big gap.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like the stereotype for like computer scientists or engineers is that they are like all like antisocial or they don't have good communication skills.
The social skills is something that's really underplayed as like a key part of computer science. Like I think like obviously as you're going through school and getting your education, everyone will really emphasize your need for like hard skills, like your ability to code, to, do math, to like understand certain concepts. But then they'll really underplay the importance of you being able to communicate your work or be able to collaborate with others. And I think sometimes your college environment can like maybe even make that worse. Like when I was in school, they had really strict policies on academic honesty, so it was really hard. Like it was very few times in our like college education that we could actually work with other students on projects. Meanwhile, you transition into the workforce and you're literally working with like other people every single day. I think that's like a really big thing, like the hard skills versus soft skills. I don't think the soft skills are emphasized enough as part of a computer science career.
So you alluded to this a little bit in your previous answers, but how did you get interested in this field?
So I actually have a very different like path through technology than I feel like other people do. Up until like sophomore year of high school, I thought I was going to go into like something in the humanities, like English or theater or education or psychology, like something like more artsy or people oriented. But then in 10th grade, I had to take a introduction to, yeah, we took it together actually. We were in it together. And I'm sure you took it for the same reason that I did, where we had to take some kind of tech class in order to be able to graduate. And so for us, our options were like wood, like a class that was kind of like wood shop, and then a class that was like introduction to computer science. And I always tell people what went through my brain was like, I can't lose a finger at the age of 16. So I was like, computer science it is. And like, even I don't think I fell in love with it like immediately. Like, I feel like there were so many people in that class that were so into like the little Lego robots we had to do. And I was like, not necessarily a super huge fan, but I think as we went through the course and got to learn more things, I really warmed up to it. And I think what really like I really enjoyed about it is I feel like I like had all these foundations for like creative problem solving and like some analytical stuff in my humanities fields that I was really into. And then I realized like computer science, you get to solve these like hard, interesting, creative problems every single day. And I think that really appealed to me. So I had like an open gap in my next year's schedule. And I was like, screw it. I'll just take like the next level and see what happens. And like as I just got to learn more and more, I like had this realization where it's like I couldn't necessarily see myself doing like education or English for the rest of my life without getting burnt out. But I could see that like computer science would give me a unique opportunity to do like different things every day. And I was like, I feel like this is where I have to like go. This is like my calling.
Yeah, that's a really, really inspiring and nice story. Like you falling in love with computer science at a high school age and then you majoring in computer science in college. For students who want to get like into this field of like software engineering, software development, like do they need computer science or are there other like majors or other activities that they can do to get those skills?
Yeah, that's a really great question, Rachel. I think that as far as like major wise, there's a lot of different majors that are now integrating a technical or code understanding, even if it's not directly computer science. I'd say if you're like set, like I want to be a software developer, you should be looking for schools that have majors in computer science, computer engineering, or like I think some places also call their computer science degrees like software development degrees. But the thing is, you could also do some that are like technology related. Like there's information systems, which is usually within the business school, but will also deal with technology. And at least at Maryland, there's information science. And I think this will sometimes also be called like user experience design, or maybe even just like web or interface design, like something that's more like how you actually design the websites that you look up, the experiences that you go through when interacting with technology. So I think those are all good options. But I even know in school, I knew some friends that were journalism majors and they were like, I have to take a coding class this semester to be able to create my website or to be able to analyze data that I could use for my own like articles that I'm writing. So I think that you'd really be surprised at like what all is out there and how you can combine computer science and technology skills with areas that you already love or use. And I think like, even prior to college, I think now more than ever, it's really easy to get to explore computer science and to get into coding. Like there's so many places online that will offer free or reduced price classes where you can kind of like get a feel for like what's Java, how do I use Python? And I'm honestly a little bit jealous because I feel like when we were in high school, there weren't that many opportunities, but then like in college, I was able to teach like elementary and middle school students about code, and I never had that opportunity. Like our tech ed classes in elementary school were like how to use PowerPoint. So I think it's really come a long way in a lot of places. Like we'll have clubs at your school or classes or, like camps in your community that you can like test it out, see how you like it, and then, figure out if you want a career that's purely tech or maybe one that uses tech to support some other function that you do.
I totally agree. I feel like in so many colleges right now, especially with like the majors and fields that colleges are offering, there are like so many like computer science, data science, interdisciplinary like studies kinds of
Definitely.
things. Yeah. And I feel like even if you aren't necessarily like computer science, but like you can still sign up for those intro coding classes, see how you like it, test it out, dip your feet in the water and see if you do fall in love with it, which I think is super cool. So after college graduation, getting a full-time job, obviously you did internships throughout high school and college. Could you explain some of those? Maybe give some tips for students if they're also interested in finding an internship?
Once again, it's like how I said, oh, we didn't have those opportunities in like elementary and middle school. I know there's a lot more high school internships now, I'd say, than when we were in high school. I actually got a high school internship through my computer science teacher in high school. He had been working in industry and then kind of got burnt out from that and decided he wanted to go into teaching education. So he still knew a lot of people that were in the computer science field. And he knew specifically a woman who was working at like a local company, and she was piloting a high school internship program. So it was like unpaid, but that was actually where the first time I got to be in like a computer science office. I got to learn like C coding, which really came in handy as I went through like the rest of my like skills and classes that I needed to go through in college. And it was just fun. Like she definitely wanted to show like how fun it can be. And we did a lot of like these other like random activities like lock picking and solving Rubik's cubes, which seem random, but definitely now I can see how like those same skill sets of like problem solving and trying different ways of doing things definitely can match with like skills you need for computer science. So that was just kind of like fun, getting my feet wet, unpaid. It was only like 2 days a week during the summer, but I found it so valuable. And then in college, I feel like is when I got like my first real like career experience. So I'd say I went through finding my internships, especially freshman year, in the same way that I'm sure most college students do, like going to career fairs, submitting every single online application you can, like crossing your fingers and hoping and praying because you might not necessarily, like, especially as a freshman student looking for an internship after your sophomore year, it's kind of rare to actually get one of those because you're going to be fighting for the same positions that say like a lot of like juniors are. And so I think that was definitely really intimidating. And I kind of that like freshman year, I remember I applied to like probably like at least 35 jobs and I heard back from one, but I got that one and that's all that matters. And I think that you can probably relate to this too on your job search, Rachel. I feel like a lot of it's just like getting your name out there and like getting your foot in the door any way you can, like getting like that first summer. It doesn't matter if you have like a top tier internship at like some big tech company, even working at like a more local company, as long as you can get that hands-on experience and that you can get people who can help you network or help you like mentor you is so very important. So then the next summer I returned to the same place I had been working before, so I didn't really go through the recruiting process. I really liked the people that I had met at that company. I felt like I had a lot of support. I was learning a lot. They were even like helping me be involved with planning their Women in STEM program that would kind of align with the internship program. So I was really excited to be back. And then the summer after, I was like, okay, I really want to mix it up because this was the internship for after my junior year. And everyone will say that's kind of like the most pivotal internship just because, a lot of times you'll get a return offer for there. It's your or it's also kind of your last time to get something on your resume, assuming that you don't do like a co-op or something in like the fall or spring semesters. So I was like, okay, I really want to try like big tech. I want to kind of mix it up, get like a feel for a larger company, for a different environment. I was actually really lucky that year where I got to attend the Grace Hopper conference, which is a conference specifically for women in computing in order to help women in computing gain in confidence and career skills, as well as showing off the contributions to research and technology that women technologists are making through academia and through industry. So it was really cool, really awesome. And a lot of companies see that as a like really unique opportunity to get underrepresented groups into their like hiring funnels. I actually had a bunch of interviews and applications through that, and I had a few offers. Once it comes down to it, and once you have all those yeses, like you kind of have to make sure you ignore any of the no's you got, because I definitely, like, I applied to like Google, for example. I was like, it would be so cool to work for Google, and I think I got their rejection letter on like the first day of the conference, and I was like so crushed, and I was like, do I even want to go to like my interview I have today? Like, I'm just so like sad that I like wasn't good enough for this company. How will I be good for this other company too? And you kind of have to like make sure you don't let that get that down. Like you like kind of ignore the like failures you have. Like make sure you learn from it. Like if you messed up during an interview or if there's like a certain skill you need to refine, like take that feedback, but don't let it like mess you up or like psych you out for your next set of interviews. So then I kind of landed on Amazon, really loved it. And then I did apply again for full time. It kind of really changed the game already having the Amazon offer like in my back pocket. But I guess like it all boils down to like not letting your failures get in the way of your like successes, and then also making sure to really put your name out there and getting your foot into the door with a lot of opportunities.
Okay, yeah, that's some really, really great advice. Definitely all very thorough. So thank you for that, Rachel. My final question for you, I know we talked a lot about like acing the coding interview, and you had a lot of tips for that in the other YouTube video that we did, which I will have linked down below. But Rachel, in that video, basically talked about what it's like being a woman in STEM and how to basically get an internship. So if you are interested in that, you can check that video out. But for this question, for students in high school or college who are interested in pursuing this field, are there any things that they can do to prepare?
Yeah, I think I touched on this like a little bit earlier, but I think now there's so many opportunities to be able to just like, put your foot in the water, like, just test out computer science without having to need the formal commitment to like a college degree. Like I said, there will be online programs, a lot of which are free, some of which you can pay for. There will also a lot of times be classes in your college or maybe a club after school, like a robotics club that you can try out. And I definitely think that it's important, like, maybe if you're not ready yet to like try the actual coding, just like read articles or keep up to date with like tech news, like hear about the new innovations that are coming or new products that are being released, because I think that'll give you a really good sense of what a career with technology could end up looking like in the future. And that might really, sell it to you, or maybe you'll be like, well, actually, I'd be much more interested working in something like completely different. And that's totally fine. But yeah, I think definitely just trying out some coding classes or projects or experiences would be really cool. And then also keeping up with like what is kind of happening in the world of tech.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, thank you so much, Rachel, for coming on here and doing yet another video with me. It's always so fun to catch up and talk with you and talk all about your experiences. So if anyone watching this does have any questions, you can leave a comment down below. If you want to see a podcast from Rachel and I, maybe something is in the works for 2021. We will see. So thank you all so much for watching this video. Definitely like this video and give it a big thumbs up so it helps me out with the YouTube algorithm, and subscribe if you do want to see more of my content. I post every Sunday and Wednesday, so check back then. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you all next time.